Shalom. I have a quick recording. Let's hope I can do this quickly. I had a major, exciting to me revelation the other day, or I came across a proof text that absolutely confirmed and opened up an understanding. Now, what I teach is a lot of the keys of the kingdom. All right, that is what Yeshua taught his disciples, and it's very clear that whatever information they got from the master himself really upped their spiritual game, so to speak, right? The miracle signs and wonders that they were able to perform along with him. Now, there's a whole, there's many, many videos, but the point is there is power in the word, and it is so much more literal in one sense than any, and I will put this category out there, evangelical Christian ever thought. So I'm going to give you some proof positive text that your Torah, the Bible, is an encryption code for the DNA of God, of Elohim. Now the thing is this DNA is encrypted. Now, I have said this before in a couple of videos. I am getting ready to start a whole new website. Let me just do a little promo rabbit trail on TheElectLife. And it's going to be much easier to navigate, and it's going to be like an enter here start point. Because after 12 years of researching and personally reading the mystical texts of our tradition, both Christian and Jewish, to get a full understanding, I feel like I have really something to say, and I have some understanding. So I'm going to, and it's not exactly, it's kind of college level stuff. So I've got a great team of women. The Father has given, we've come together for such a time as this to build like a curriculum. And so in the website, it's going to bring you in, like start here, and there'll be a couple of videos to explain like what is Jewish, we'll say, or Christian mysticism, which is a little deeper understanding. Remember, I teach parts, all right? So in the point of parts right there, it's a cryptograph. And cryptography is so interesting because I really finally made the connection today between this and what's going on today with modern computing. We've just taken it up unbelievable levels, so to speak, but the same principle of encryption and coding that goes on and is giving us this unbelievable AI world that is all around us, okay, and about ready to, catch us in its net. But either way, so cryptography is the science of using codes and ciphers to protect messages. And encryption involves encoding messages so that only the intended recipient can understand the meaning of the message. It's often used to protect data in transit. The operation of a cipher usually depends on a piece of auxiliary information called a key. In non-technical usage, a secret code typically means a cipher. Okay, now those words are used all over our Torah. The Torah is very clear that the level I teach, the sod level of parts, is the encrypted level. It is, and Yahweh says to his prophets, come up to my secret meeting, to my secret chamber, and I speak in this language that's very encrypted. See, and this is why, only the prophets really can live at this level. But the point is, this is the way it is. There are 304,892, and I think I might be off by a couple decimals, or a couple of numbers there. But that's what in Torah, in the 5 books of Moshe. It is the most incredible code, and it has been copied for thousands of years with absolutely no breakage in the code. That's how good these people are. Okay, our brother Judah, we owe them a bit. So, but this is all over today. People pay big bucks to encrypt their data. Okay, so again, there's nothing new under the sun. But our Torah is the ultimate encrypted text. And this is what I am learning. This is what the Torah's always been saying, okay? So what happened was I came across this verse. I am reading people myself, so nobody's telling me what it says. I'm a very independent, critical thinker. I believe that I have the mind of Christ, and I have the Ruach, the promised Ruach or Holy Spirit to lead me in truth. I believe it. I try to live my life as clean as possible. So I don't spend a lot of time thinking, worrying about it. So I came across this in the Zohar. It's volume 7. It's page 6 and 7. I forgot to put that in here. It says the sapphires all right, of the throne of glory. All right, now first of all, the sapphires, there's a sapphire throne up there, there's a sapphire sky, there are sapphire lights. Okay, these are all images and words that we have. Okay, now what I'm finally understanding is throw out the Peshat on that. We're not talking about real hard rock stones up there. Okay, there's a quality, there's a color, there's an essence, there's a light in quote unquote sapphire. Okay, but we're up here in the throne of glory. Now it says here the secret. So it's a secret, meaning it's an encryption. They are going to tell me in the text right now what the encryption is. All right, the secret of the captive sparks, okay, of Chokmah amongst them, and in the context, because I took it, is the nations, okay, which would make perfect sense, right? Called sapphires, according to the secret meaning of the verse. Can't have it any clearer there, okay? So here we've got sapphires are in the throne of glory. Now I tell you the secret of these captive sparks, which we now know are going to be our sapphires. So sapphires and sparks are the same thing. They're the sparks of Chokmah. Chokmah is the beginning of light in the right amongst they're called sapphires. Oh, I forgot the A in there. According to the secret meaning of the verse, so there's a secret encryption code. Who would have known? Did you know the secret code they encrypted for sapphires? And actually that's us as lights in the firmament. I mean, it's just incredible. So so that's my textbook, that there is a code, people. Okay, I didn't make this up, and I'm not sitting around making up a code. The keys to the kingdom are there. They were lost. They're coming back to the elect of the last days. And I really want to be a part of this ministry. I have worked very hard. And so this new website, I'm saying everything we're launching with the curriculum and so many study aids to make it fast, to make it easy for Ephraim to get back up to speed. So anyways, Genesis 3:24, again, you have to see how. So he drove out the man, stationed cherubim on the east side of the Garden of Eden, along with a swirling sword of flame to guard the way to the tree of life. See, and then my last point here, Revelation 4:3, carrying it from Genesis to Revelation, this whole concept of this throne and the tree of life, these are all such synonymous ways of saying, giving us pictures of the celestial, the spiritual, the worlds of our soul and our spirit. The one seated looked there like jasper and carnelian and a rainbow that gleamed like an emerald encircled the throne. Okay, see the colors up there? See, we're not seeing this in a Peshat. You are seeing the energies of Elohim moving in their complete Sephirithic color. Now, all right, which brings me to my next point. I hope I'm not. Now, so what it really led to was the fact, in more research, that this whole concept of auras and chakras are real. Okay, people, I have had so many people come to me and ask me, Liz, are chakras real? Is it kosher? Is it in the Torah? Or are auras real? And while as I've coming closer and closer and understanding the metaphysics, I never had the smoking gun, so to speak. But now I do. And now I really understand, because I've done a lot of series on metals and what they're doing with these words and how they're painting the picture of the spiritual realms, okay, on this soul level. But here, let me read this. So these are actual photos now. Carillion photography, the technology has caught up. The science has caught up with what Torah is always saying. And so auras now, people can see it, this is how the angels or the spiritual worlds or even super sensitive, people can read you. All right, so pure undifferentiated light, which is white light, right? That's the true light that lights up every man that comes into the world. But we know when light goes through a prism, where do you think Newton got that great breakthrough in science? From the Kabbalah, okay? And that's a fact, but I just throw that out there. So white is the essence of all color. It comes into Bina. Now, if you understood your tree of life, we're coming down from Keter, which is the point, the first word, Yah spoke. All right, he spoke, it came to Chokmah, wisdom, it went over to Bina, to understanding. Okay, so that's the total flow. It comes into Bina, who is the womb. She is known as the divine mother. She delivers a son, right? It takes a male and a female. I'll just stop there, but that is the archetype of the word, and it cannot be changed. And if you try to change it, it's going to turn around and it's going to crush you. That's what the word says. So the womb and the divine mother delivers a son who, when you understand the tree of life, is the Vav in the tetragrammaton, the Yod Hey, I just said mother and father, the son. I'm just giving you quickly very complex theology or way, or let me give you this, the physics of how they truncate knowledge, okay? So the sun is really 7 Sephiroth, which is really Zeron Pin, which is really Adam Harishon, or the first Adam. You know, all these things that our Bible's alluding to, which we never really knew. We thought they were all disconjointed concepts. They all stem from one tree that has one root system, all right? And so this sun in turn lights up the whole universe, the whole lower universes, like the sun in our world. The light goes through Tiferet, which is the hub of this wheel here, which is like the Moshiach throne here. It all the light of Elohim, and we're not talking sunlight, we're talking life, okay? This light goes through Tiferet and is displayed in its individual colors or energies, and it's all coded, it's all wave, it's all particle and wave, and it just goes until finally gets down to us here in physicality, and boom. Okay, so this is, but see, my whole point is they have stolen it. See, this is the prophecy that if Israel lost their salt, or did not keep covenant, they would be put out into the nations. They would be just, discarded like refuse. All right. And that their knowledge, their inheritance would go to the nations. They would be able to be plundered. They have stolen. I'm saying what is ours. And I've always said it's time to go in and clean it up and bring it back and use it for the glory of Elohim and to help each other heal our nation, our world. All right. And give glory to our creator. Okay. So I just got to keep moving here. Let me see. I wanted to go this slide. Okay. So then I want a new age site because I wanted to get, I'm not an expert. I haven't really been a new ager per se. So I just kind of glean. But I read this and I thought this is what I just read in the Zohar. This is like, how can this be? All right. Unless somebody else is directing information flows. So they noticed that a person's aura changed. Now they're talking about, okay, auras is from a new age website. They noticed, and this is science, they were doing these experiments. So this I got from a science center that was actually looking into this, and they said they have noticed that a person's aura changes throughout the day. The energy field glows brighter in the morning and tends to fade during the evening. Who doesn't know that's not true? Your energy is always more, or mine is. Another observation was the visibility of the aura. Although it could be seen around the body, the energy was most pronounced around the face, particularly from the eyes down to the neck. Now, what is really fascinating, again, the TORAH talks are, especially the language of the Zohar, all about how our gates, our 2 ears, our 2 eyes, our two nostrils and the mouth, these are all gates in which everything really comes into us. All right. And that's not an accident. And that's not an accident that's being portrayed here in energy, right? Okay. So it says it does seem a little strange to those who are well versed in ancient methods like the TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, which a lot of people say are explained because it's very holistic. They never threw the baby out with the bathwater of this whole concept that you must treat a whole person, a body, soul, and spirit. So they've known for centuries that disease shows up in the energy body or aura centers before it physically manifests. Okay. I mean, even go to a massage therapist and they'll tell you that sure you store energy as negative, positive and negative in your muscles. Okay, so bottom line, and this was the last line of this, and I loved it. It says, bottom line, it's nice to know that science and spirituality are coming together in these days. That is exactly what has been prophesied by our prophets, and that is exactly what the Zohar has always said and has always carried the information forward so that this can happen. And you know what? The Father, yay, Elohim, gets the last word. So I think I have one more slide. Okay, well, okay, now let me say, once I have touched on, okay, here, the auras, all right, and then the chakras. And this is going to take another video because I want to go into more. But see, this is what the Zohar has always said. See, these organ centers, energetic centers in our body are bundles, okay, of all sorts of energetic cells and different things that come together to do specific works. and they are in complete communication with each other. How we know the HUD, but they are energy buses, and they completely parallel the tree of life. They completely parallel. If you graph out, I have this, the Yod Hey Vav Hey, put the man on the tree of life, put that with the chakras, it all lines up. You couldn't make it up. How could this happen? All right. So this is a couple things. They've even plotted the Da Vinci, or no, the Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence. Oh my gosh, I'll never get it. Sequence to the progression, the mathematics that is in this. Okay. What I'm saying, talking about is Da Vinci's. The famous thing, see, these people were in on some information. Okay, Da Vinci wasn't just sitting around making some abstract geometric shapes and, oh, let's put him in. He was a secret Kabbalist because he was hanging out with Kabbalists that were coming back from the Mideast, because the Jews were being pushed out and they were coming right at this time. That's what fueled the Renaissance, is they were coming into the lower part of Europe, Spain, Italy, Spain. That's why there became to be Renaissances there. And they perked everything back up again because of the knowledge that is in the Zohar, and that's a fact. But unfortunately, the history scrubbers have scrubbed it out. Now, but what I want to say in the next verse, our next video, which is so wild, who is your God? Because it can be displayed even geometrically. Okay, is the point, are you going to put the point, the center? Are you going to put it at the belly button, which is on the third one, the fourth one from left? Or are you going to put it on the phallus, on the reproductive? What's going to be your, are you going to let God, who originally added the belly button, so to speak, and that is our intro, or are you going to be run by your hormones, so to speak? Are you going to be carnal, or are you going to be tapped in spiritual? I mean, even in the graphics, it doesn't lie. So I just thought that was pretty cool. We're going to go full out with graphics, putting this information together. It's time, Ephraim, you need to come back into the house of Judah, into the Torah sages who have kept the best wine for last, for us, for all of us, all the nations, because it is a universal language. Okay, shalom. I will see you in the next video.